Hi everyone, my name's Christensen and I'm going to show you how to use the remote buying software here at Christensen Flower Auction. It's pretty cool because you'll be sitting home in your pyjamas, your undies, your best dressed Sunday gear. It doesn't really matter. You can buy through the convenience of the internet. What you do is you download and install the remote bidder software, which I've done in the first video, so go and have a look at that if you need to do that as well. And then you will have the software installed on your desktop now if you've already done that. Now to connect to it, just double click the icon that'll sit on your desktop. The green triangle up here will open your user ID and login box. It'll be preloaded once you've done it once, so just click OK. And that will now open up the auction list as it is. Now tonight it's 7:09 on a Wednesday night that I'm doing this video with you, so it's a live show. So this is an actual live auction that I'm recording. I'm going to show you how to buy. Now on the remote bidder, the key areas to be aware of are, you've got the picture screen, which gives you a picture representation of what it is. You've got the clock, which is the price, very important. That'll dictate pricing and how that's done. And then over here is the bidding area, which sort of says what number do I want to buy. So instead of holding up paddles like you do at any other auction with, your buy number or how many you want, you actually click a button to say how many you want to buy over here. Now the rest on this screen, this screen when it opens, see here where it says this Mother's Day message, because this is the week after Mother's Day that I've recorded this. This is where we will put any high-level messages that we want you to see. There's not always a message there, so once you've read it, you can go click here to show auction list, and that will bring that up. If there's no message to show, then it'll go straight to the auction list. Okay, so it's like any other auction. When you go, you're going to get an auction list of what's up for sale, and it's going to give you some details about the items. Now, seasoned buyers get to know growers, etc. If you've been buying in the flower game, you will already have seen the grower names, a lot of them that we use, because the reality is there's not that many big growers around, so they all supply everybody. So you've probably seen the products anyway, which is a good thing if you're just coming into the auction channel. Now, this remote bidder window, this blue area here where I'm hovering the mouse, that is where messages will come up from the auctioneer, and also if an item passes in, it will then come up and go passed in. So if the auctioneer wants to say anything during the sale, he'll type it in that box there. Over here on the right side of the logo, if you click that Watch Latest Cold Room video, that will take you to the YouTube video that we film each day that there's an auction. So auctions are on normally Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, 6 o'clock Sundays, 7 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's always 6 o'clock on a weekend, 7 o'clock on a weekday. So people have to get home from shops. So you can go watch a video right from this remote bidder window. Okay, so let's say you're in the market for some Orientals, and here comes some Orientals. Now, you might have noticed that the green line is what we're auctioning, and then the auction list scrolls up once there's been a full sale or some items have passed in. Now, when you first look at this, you're going to go, goodness me, it's very, very quick. But once you become a season's buyer, you actually go, this is quite slow. We have had this up to 3 times the speed at one stage, but we found that it was just too fast for the internet world to be reasonable, so we slowed it down a bit. So here we go. We've got Tiber Orientals, pink, 60 centimetre. This is the price they're selling for. So the clock will start at a price and count down until something happens, either until it passes in or until someone buys. So let's look at this. Rialto starts at $13.50 and it counts down, and I'll tell you what happens next. Okay, it's hit a reserve price at $12.50, the first price. People are buying at the first price. Now that little doom, and see that current minimum buy here increased, and then it went past the $12.50. So it hit $12.50 once, $12.50 twice, then went boosh and went past and went down. What it means is it's saying if you only want to buy the minimum buy that I'm showing now, you have to buy now. Otherwise, I'm going to throw more at you. Now we can change the allotments. We can go 1 and 6, 1 and 3. Like currently, it's minimum buy 1, and then you'll find it'll go to 6. So here's $12.50. For Polar OT whites, now it's gone to 6. Now the price continues on its travel downwards. So it's saying you can buy at cheaper prices, but you need to buy a little more. So you'll know that if you only want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll have to buy at that first point. But if you can buy 6 or more, you can wait till the second bounce point, or until the market. If there's furious bidding on something, then you'll have to jump in. So that's the price. Now, when you get seasoned, you will actually follow that counter to press the button. But when you start, just keep your eyes here on the green area, the price field. It's much easier. So that's the indicative price, and you'll notice it's counted down. Now, the price is whatever we would normally sell this item in. So normally, lilies are by bunch. Roses are by a bunch, except if it's a massive Colombian. But if it's, whatever the bunching description here says, that's what we're selling it by. So all these items coming out here are all being sold in those allotments. The only things we normally sell in stems are lotus pods, proteas, banksias, imported Colombian roses, heliconias, the big ones. Okay, so whatever that price shows, that is the allotment of the bunching description. So here we go, ready to sell iris, because they're 5 stems, so they're in the ready to sell group for a cheap ready to sell item. They're from 3067 Doynes Liliums. And here's the comments. Now this is an important field to take notice of. From farm to vase, sleeved, ready to sell. The auctioneer can actually type in any comment freestyle here. So if there's worth commenting, he will type a comment. If it's not worth commenting, normally he won't. A lot of people get really paranoid if we don't put a comment in there. So we will tend to go nice, like mock orange coming up down here. Nice. Nice is like a rubbish comment in my opinion, because nice, I mean, if it's normal mock orange, then it's normal and it is nice. So normally we will only comment if it's extreme, as in really good, or if there's something up that you need to know about it. But again, we have a lot of old-timer clients who really like to see a comment against everything, so we try and cater for most buyers, obviously. So you'll see this one, standard tea tree, little dry foliage for all your wildflowers bouquets. So, okay, the tea tree, so it's obviously got some coarse foliage, and it's a little bit on the drier side in the foliage. So you're thinking, okay, as long as it's got a nice flower spray, I can still use that in my native mixes. We will always tell the story how it is. We will never embellish or fluff up the story to force through a sale. So we always act for the grower. It's our job as his agent or her agent to sell their product, but it's also our job to keep you, the buyer, coming back. So you've got to have that trust that there's intention and that we will do the right thing, and that is what we will always set out to do. So that's it in a nutshell. An item comes up, it tells you how many available here in the remaining lots field. So there's 32 of these Cocoa Hypericum 10 stem. Okay, now we're going to the Cocoa Avanti Cream. Now there's 40, minimum buy 1. Oh, someone bought 2. So you can see that there. Now see the buy number here, 999 is like a system number. So you'll see that a lot, especially for passive points. There we go. Here's the buy numbers coming up, and you'll see it just counting down. So you can actually make a bid once this is paused. Sometimes if something's in demand, the clock will stop and you'll go, bam, I'll have something, thanks. And then you might actually not end up getting anything because we have bid stacking. So it just depends if there's enough left if you all hit it at the same time. Now let's talk about how do we make a bid. And I'm actually going to do a live bid here. So this is a live auction. Now I'm going to buy some Aspidistra coming up. Okay, current minimum buy 1. Now over here, you've got big buttons, a minimum buy or a lot buy. The lot buy is the lot, and the minimum buy is 1. Now, when we get into peak seasons like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, we might actually limit. Valentine's Day, if there's red roses, there might be 2,000 bunches. We might limit it to, say, 50 bunches per buy. So if it was limited, the lot buy would max out at 50. So that's how we affect those sort of things. But that's only really during peak times that we do that. So here we go, mock orange, you can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So you can buy in units of 1 because this current minimum buy field is 1. Once that goes to 6, you'll see these buttons change over here on the right. There we go, so there we go. Once it goes to 6, you can't buy less than 6. And there goes 7. If you wanted to buy more than that, you could scroll ahead and it will slide the buttons up. 36, and so you can get the multiples going. So if you want to buy 44, you go bam, press it at 44 and it's gone. So here's some Melaleuca. Again, I can see it's Melaleuca, green, 20 stem, yeah, that's what I want on bunching. Murray Farm, they're a good grower, they're nice. Personally, I don't like that, but again, each auctioneer is different. We all have our different ways of doing it, and I'm happy for our auctioneers to give as much info as they can. Lemon Myrtle, this is my dad's favourite, lemon myrtle. Smells nice. So you see the green button, so we're going to buy one, ready? So we're going to buy one at $2.80. Okay, so I press the button, 283. It went doosh, that went green up here, and see how it says here, bid successful, 1 lot of standard lemon myrtle green at $2.83 each. So that gives me a list of a visual going, yes Nick, you're successful, you bought it. I'm going to buy one of these too. Now let's see if we can stop this. Oh, it's 6, it's too many for me, I don't want it. Okay, White Sims. The next offer of White Sims, we're going to buy 2, and I'm going to tell you the price, I'm going to try and hit it at. Okay. I'm going to try to hit that at $6.50. Okay, yay. So I got it. Bid successful, 2 lots Carnation for White Sims at 650. Now this is going to increase now, this current minimum buy. Bang, goes to 6. So you'll see the other buttons get grayed out. And this will keep counting down now. There's 715 bunches because we're selling about 8 to 10 stem bunches. That's quite a lot of Sims, by the way. This was actually a carryover late shipment from Mother's Day. That's why this is coming through the system now. So, if I wanted to keep tabs of how much money have I spent, see, this is the catalogue for the auction list. This is the sales list that I've bought. So this is the running total of my flower purchases. It doesn't show you add-ons. It just shows you pure flower purchases. So here, if you go, oh, I'm working to a budget, I can only spend $300. You can go into sales and go, okay, I've spent $1,583. Obviously, there's no service fee showing on here, there's no GST, and there's no freight. They're the 3 items you have to think about. So our service fee is 7.5%. You know GST is 10%, same everywhere. And if you're within our local delivery network through our courier network, it'll be a $25 to $29 flat fee. We're going to change fees from 1st of July, but that is it. So just keep that in mind if you're working to total budget. The third button here, pre-bids, I'm going to talk about in a second, and you can actually set some bids and walk away if you want to. Now, some tools that we have here in this system. Let's say I wanted pink and white sprays. I would right click on the line, which I have, and I want it to put an alert on. So see that little sort of radio beacon there? Once it gets close to this item, normally I think it's within 3 items. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think it's 3. It's been a very long time since I've used it. It will actually sound an audible alarm. So you could be doing the dishes or helping the kids with the homework, having a glass of shardy, watching your favourite show, whatever it is, and if you've got your speakers turned up, this alarm will go off when it gets within a certain range. Now I'm tipping 3, so we'll actually see if it goes off when we get within there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I'm putting money on 3. I should know, I own the system. All right, there we go. That is simply just minimum buy has increased, okay? Something that's important over here while we're waiting for this, see if what I'm saying is right. This tick here, if I untick that, it's not going to keep the list coming back to the most current offer each time. So if you wanted to scroll through this list and have a good hard look at it, and you didn't want it to center back to the item that's being auctioned, you untick that. But if you tick that, it will take you back to the current item being auctioned. There we go. There was the alarm, and it is 3. Yes. So they hear that doot, 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 doot. So let's do that again with the lime green. We're going to put an alert on. So when this is finished, it'll sound. Wait for it. 132 pink sprays. $4.74 a bunch, 10 stem. These are Colombian. That's a cheap price for Colombian. They average up normally. But because, again, the auction system's really good. Because there we go. There's the alarm. So you can go and set all your alarms. You can do that before the auction starts. And you can walk away if you wanted to, or they're little mental notes for you, okay? What I was going to say is the auction's very good because it is a true auction. So if you actually get a flush of something, obviously there's more of it around, so we will price that accordingly and bring pricing down, the reserve pricing down, to try and encourage sales. So if something's tight, it goes the other way. You're going to have to pay more money because everyone's going to want it. So it really does work both ways. So you do get a good average in what you're doing, which is fantastic. So those alarms working a treat. Really happy about that. So I'm going to turn that light off. Okay, and that's out of the system now. Okay. So it's the same system over and over again. So it's just like this recurring conveyor belt of product. So it will go up for sale, and it's either all sold, or some of it's sold and some of it's passed in, or all of it's passed in. It doesn't matter. But it'll go through the process. It will hit 2 bounce points, the first one being the first reserve price, and then it will increase the current minimum buy number, and then it will continue on its way down, normally around about 15% as a rough guide. And then if it doesn't all sell, or if it all sells, whatever, once it's finished, it'll take the next item on the auction list and it'll start the process again. So it's a bit cathartic. You'll get used to it. Once you get used to the flow, you'll actually get used to even how long things take, how long lots will take to go through, etc. Now, the order of auction list, we're pretty excited because we've changed the way we do that just recently. We're actually now able to make it really, we call it sexy internally, because we're not stuck on having any set order. We can choose the order. So if it's a normal auction, we will make sure it's interesting for you, and you can get in and out in about an hour and have exposure to most of all the flowers that you'd want to buy for your shop. That's what we're aiming, so you can get in and out in an hour. For big days, if we're like one day before a big day, normally we won't have, like for Valentine's Day, you wouldn't find bamboo, you wouldn't find willow, you wouldn't find those sort of things the day before the big day. We would have a very quick roses, greenery, gyp carnations, lily top up the day before, and that's how we'll order it. So you'll really find that we really think about what's going on, what are people going to want. We're not going to put all the AAA stuff on trolley 1, because we are going to make sure there's a spread through the auction list. It's like milk at the back of the supermarket theory too. Our job is to make sure the growers sell, but also make sure that we're not making you sit up for 3 hours, the two nights that you'll probably buy, and get bored with it. So we try and give a really good spread of product. Yeah, that's it. So the key points are, the green numbers show the price. The current minimum buy is what to keep aware of. An audible alarm will sound when that increases. This is how you buy over here. You click one of these buttons to stop the clock. The successful bid will show up here. See how it went bid submitted and then it comes back bid successful? I can see what I've spent by clicking on this sales tab down here, and it'll give me a running total of my flower purchases. If you wanted to look through the list, now let's say I'm down here going, oh, which South American, it's gone back to the start because it's centering. You can untick the keep current offer, scroll to your heart's content. I want to look down here. I'll look down here. This is not going to recenter now because I've unticked that. So this will go to the next item. See, I've stayed here. Beautiful, isn't it? I'll turn that back on because I like to go back and be centered when I'm doing stuff in the list. The other interesting thing is we will run our sundries normally at the very end of the list. Why we do that and why we actually put the price in there is because it's designed so when you hit a boring patch for stuff you don't want on the list, you can go down to the sundries and go, look, I really need to top up and I just need some moss green ribbon and I want to buy 2 rolls. Now if you right click on that line, this actually gives you all the things that you can do with that item. Now you want to place a pre-bid on that, so if you left click on place a pre-bid, that will open up the pre-bidding window. You can get to this window, by the way, through the auction website. You can log into your account and get there as well. So if you are out of hours, as in if it's more than 1 hour before the auction starts, so if it's before 5 o'clock on a Sunday and if it's before 6 o'clock on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you won't be able to log into the remote bidder because we don't open the gateways yet because we're still finalising things. You could actually go onto the internet, because that's a live list 24 hours a day, log into the buyers section and place a pre-bid under the pre-bids tab, and it'll get you to exactly the same screen that I've got here. So on this screen, you scroll down to sundries and you go, right, here is the item. We clicked on moss green, so I must have just clicked another button. So you can go cross green ribbon. No, moss green, sorry. I was reading the wrong line. Okay, number of lots you want. I want 1, and what do you want to pay? Now it said in here, pre-bid $3.95. That means the auction is saying that's what the price is going to be. So it'll still run on the clock, but that's going to be the cheapest price. So I'm going to go, you beauty, I'm going to place a bid for 1 at $3.95. It'll go, your pre-bid of is 3 cents per lot. You know what, that's a weird win. Oh, I've used the decimal. Don't use a decimal. That's why. See on here, price and cents, e.g. $9.90 for $9.90. I didn't even read it myself. I went $3.95. That's why I said 3 cents. Okay, so $3.95 with no decimal. Please check that the details below are correct and click yes to place your pre-bid. So I'm going to go, you beauty, I'm going to pre-bid that. Now, you can turn your computer off. You can walk away. You can go and have a glass of wine, go and kiss the hubby, take the kids to soccer, whatever you need to do, and the computer will buy it for you if it hits that price. Now on sundries, it's going to hit that price. Now remember, it's the same principle when it comes to flowers. You might go, oh, I don't want to sit here because I've got to do something. I'm going to go, I really need some Banksias. I'm going to pre-bid. Bang, you can do the same thing. My advice is do not pre-bid items that are sought after, because the old story, if you pre-bid $6 and someone stops the clock at $6.05, and then everybody else piles in, you're going to miss it. So if you're wanting to buy some things that you really need, my suggestion to you would be buy through a flower broker, because a flower broker knows the pricing, and they're a live person. A computer can never beat a live person in bidding. So don't ever bid something you really, really need pre-bid, because it's not going to work for you. Okay, so that's pre-bids. You can also get to pre-bids if you just click on above this little tab here. See, if you click on this one that's watched the video, it'll take you out to YouTube to watch our video. This is our website, and this is the videos tab, and that's the most current video of the day. So you can get to the videos tab from inside the bidder if you'd like to. Also, I've lost my screen. Where is it? There it is. You can click on place pre-bids, and that will open that pre-bid list that I just did. But I prefer myself to go find the item I want and start the process there. I go, right click, place pre-bid. Okay. You can also do an auction list search. So if you go auction list search, you go, I want to go into search, and I want to find, is there any more iris on tonight's auction? You can go, okay, no matching products found. So there's no more iris on the auction today. So you can also search from that pre-bid window. It's a pretty simple system. It's been designed for flower people. It's not been designed for computer nerds. Like, I'm a little bit of a nerd, so my teenage daughters are now telling me. But it really is supposed to be easy for you to use. Now currently, because this was written 15 years ago and we've modified it every year since, we're always innovating and modifying, you can't use a Mac or a tablet to buy this on unless it's a Windows powered machine. We are in the process of rewriting this part of it in Java, which is what we've decided on, so that you will be able to use a portable device other than a PC Windows machine. So that is coming. I expect to have that hopefully by the end of 2013. And yeah, then it makes it a little bit easier for people to use their iPads and things. Now, let's say, now remember, you're on the internet, okay? We don't have control of what happens on the internet. Now, the internet really is as susceptible to things like, if you've got a heap of teenagers having a massive LAN party in your suburb, that of course you'll know nothing about probably, and if they've really sucked down all of these high-powered games and things, you could actually find a slowdown or connection issues for a split second. If the clock stops and you're going, am I still connected? Am I not connected? This box up here will turn red if you're not connected. But if you're in doubt, just press the red button, see how it's gone to not connected, and press the green button, and then press OK again. And you can log back in and go, authenticating, logged on successfully. It'll come up with a message if there is one. It will show a photo of the first offer until it then restarts. It'll then take you back to the most current offer. Now, I'll tick keep current offer at top of list. I turned that off before. So that will then take you. Now up here, that is the right picture. Roses Kiwi Cream with pink centre. That's always the current item that's being auctioned. So if you get lost in the list because you've come in halfway through something selling, it will not recenter itself until a new offer starts or a new item starts. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you're having real problems with login, because sometimes that happens, they're computers, trust me. All things can go wrong, and sometimes we don't even know why. Don't be afraid to go, geez, I really don't know if I can't work this out. Just close the whole thing down. And then double click on your icon, open it up again, click the green triangle, and go, okay, connect. That really is the best way to troubleshoot, and that's what we always tell people when they have connection issues. The other problem is if you've got a connection issue, you will get an error message here. So let's just say I'm going to be a bit of a Mr. Magoo, and I'm going to type in a wrong password. Okay? I'll go, okay. Well, it comes up and tells me incorrect user ID or password. So it really is that simple. The system's designed to be easy to use. That is it, folks, out there in internet land. That is how you buy logging in yourself. Just remember, we are here to help if you need our help. Good luck with it. Ask lots of questions. It'll take you about a month or so to get comfortable.